what we are going to be doing is we are going to give to each individual enough time, to express himself. And then let me actually go through this, okay? So here, that would be the introduction that I should say, okay, which is kind of welcoming words to all of you guys, okay? And then I'm not sure if I need to always do that, but I want to share kind of the vision of the Premium Life, which actually is going to be that we want to provide the members with the access to like-minded people, okay? Entrepreneurs, business owners, coaches, industry leaders, and all other positively oriented individuals, okay? We all got a goal that we hold each other accountable toward achieving, our personal and professional goals. Okay, so that's why we should hold this group. Okay, and we want to provide each other with knowledge, support, information, connections, referrals, ideas, in order to build our dream business, build our dream lifestyle. So I kind of want to say that we should be respectful to each other, using kind words, which is fine, we should respect the bell, okay, because we want to be on time with everything. We can always chat into the text chat, so we can comment and suggest to each other the ideas. Guys, can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. And the feedback can be all written in the chat, because we cannot just talk all over each other and stuff like that, okay? So now I want kind of to, again, present introduce each other to each other, because we just want to follow this agenda. But I'm going to open the sheet of where we are all the members, okay, here, okay? So there is 5 of us now. There is the new person, his name is Sire, but he's not here yet. I'm not sure if he's coming, but anyway. So I should introduce myself, okay? Most of you already know who I am and what I'm doing, okay? But if I need to do it really quickly again, each of us will have 30 seconds right now, or let's say 1 minute, doesn't really matter, okay, to introduce himself. But I need to open up some timer or something. So let me see if the PC does have timer or not. Primoz Lazar, okay, I'm mostly working on growing my local business, okay. I'm a photographer and I do sales locally, okay, and I'm also growing my Premium Life online networking community, okay. So that's pretty much all from my side from talking, okay. I just want to transfer the word right now to Jeremy, because he was the second person in our group. So I want you to, Jeremy, kind of say a few words for introduction and maybe introduce yourself a little bit more.
Yeah, so right now I'm working on my own business. I have a co-founder. We're basically working on algorithmic trading. So we use bots to trade Forex markets, and that's kind of where we're at right now. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the overview. I have a software engineering background. Yeah.
Awesome, man. That's awesome. That was great, Jeremy. Yeah, Pablo. Tell me.
My name is Pablo Gonzalez. I am a connector of people. I speak from stages about how to create connection that fosters businesses through networking or business development or fostering corporate culture. And I train people how to do it one-on-one.
Great to hear from you, Pablo. Michael, say some words to us. Introduce yourself quickly again. So, I mean, I already know you a little bit, but, the other guys, you can remind us.
Yeah, so I am Michael. I'm in the real estate game right now. I am mostly catered into the wholesaling aspect. So I pretty much, find specific property for my private group of investors. And by doing so, I make commission off of it. So I'm technically like a realtor who's not licensed. That makes sense. Yep.
Great stuff, yeah. So in the future, we want to add more people into the group so we can have more of the accountability partners, to each kind of the industry interest. So yeah, that's what me and Jeremy talked last time as well. We should choose from this group to have an accountability partner, in some way, because that would be great for our future successes. Okay, so we need to talk about that as well, And later on, I'm going to invite you, all of you as well, that you should or you could reach out into your own networks, and introduce the idea to some other people as well. But don't do that yet, okay? Because I want us to be strategical, and I want you to actually know more about our project anyway, because I haven't presented the idea to anybody of you yet, So let's keep it calm. Now, I'm not sure who did we say last time too that should have the educational part. Has anybody of you, Jeremy and Pablo, thought about that?
Yeah, so I was thinking maybe just pitch the same thing I mentioned 2 weeks ago.
Okay, yeah. Pablo, you should talk about networking for 2-3 minutes, okay? We're going to give you that.
I got it ready.
Yeah, what about you, Jeremy? Sorry, Jeremy.
Yeah, I mean, so I just had the same thing from last time. So if we want to review it, that's good. Otherwise, we can spend a little more time and focus on the networking.
So now I want to give 3 minutes right now to the educational part, okay? Who wants to do it first? I mean, Pablo, you are always ready. Yeah? You should kind of.
Yeah, but Jeremy's ready, man. You want to go first, Jeremy? You had it ready last week, bro. Let's give you a stage.
Yeah, I mean, I can do it first quick. So let me just share my screen here. I can pull it up. Let's see. So anyway, this is the focal point exercise. It's kind of a composite of a couple different ideas from the 10X rule by Grant Cardone, and also Focal Point by Brian Tracy. 2 very good books I recommend. So the first concept is level of action. This is from Grant Cardone. In life, there's 4 levels of action. You can take no action, right? You can take the minimum action that's needed to get the job done. You can take regular action, which is what most people do. Or you can take massive action. This is like literally as much action as possible. And so this is the unlock in thinking. Most people don't think about it that way of like, oh, I should take as much as possible. They just take a minimal or regular amount of action. Okay, results-based thinking. So this is the next concept. And this is just changing a little bit the way you think. So some people think like, oh, I've got to do this, I got to do that. It's their to-do list, right? But the difference is to think in terms of results. Like, if I do this, what's the result? How much can I get out of it? Or maybe it's not worth very much and I should try not to do it and focus on more important things. So that's the results. What are the results? Zero-based thinking. So this ties in with the level of no action. So it's kind of like saying, oh, what are kind of the optional things? Like, if I do this, the result is minimal. It's like not going to change the world. Whereas there might be some activities where they actually add a lot of value to your business. So zero-based thinking also would be commitments you've picked up over the years, where you got to do it because someone else expects it to happen, but it's not really contributing to your life, your business. So maybe you can stop doing it. And then so finally, we can get on to the actual exercise, which is, there's this here. I'll share this link again. But basically, you're going to make a list of all your activities that you do for your life or your business, and then label your current level of action. Say like, oh, like, I do the minimum action. I don't do this, but I would like to, or like, I'm already taking massive action, whatever it is. And then you can rank them using results-based thinking to say, how much value does this activity add to my life and to my business? And then you just kind of want to like line them up and say like, okay, if it's the most valuable activities, I should be taking massive action on them. So really what we've said here in this activity is to have a focal point. That's one activity you're going to focus on. Do that as much as possible all the time that you think is going to add the most value to your business. And that might change over time, but that way you can focus on one thing. You don't get distracted by other stuff. And hopefully you will shift all your activities to add much more value to your business. So I'll go ahead and share this. Does anyone have questions though about that? Or does it make sense?
It's good, man.
Yeah, you got another 40 seconds.
Straight to the point.
Cool. The other thing is like you can make sub lists. So you can say like, you can do the same thing for your clients, right? So you've heard of 80-20. You could do this for your clients and say like which clients add the most value. Maybe stop interacting as much with clients that don't add as much value. Or there's a lot of ways you can upsell your existing clients, and that could be a really good way to add some additional value to your business.
Yeah. So after I rated them, okay, if I choose the ones that kind of are most income producing activities, what do I do then? Right. So then you need to just line up your level of action with that activity. And so there should be instructions here, but basically if you got your focal point, which is the most important thing you can do for the business,
That should be massive action. You got your vital activities that are necessary for business. You should take the regular amount of action. There's the stuff you got to get done, like you got to pay taxes, you know? So that means you need to take minimal action and not spend way too much time on that. Or there's optional, so like just leave them out if you don't need them and focus on the vital and the focal point.
Yeah. You see, we will be repeating this few more times in the future, so we can all learn how it really works, all the stuff, you know. Yeah. Now, Pablo, before we give you the motivational part, okay, we will share our monthly, quarterly or yearly goal of each individual. Okay, so each of us is going to share what's our personal goal for the next year. Okay, so we kind of share with each other the goals. All right. And Michael, because you were a little bit more quiet, okay, should you start with sharing with us what would be your goal if you here? Okay, I'll give you 30 seconds.
Of course. Monthly goal is to close the current 4 deals that I have, which are definitely about to happen. Quarterly goal is to pretty much triple what I've just done, which would be the 10x rule for sure. Because as of right now, I don't have a solid plan on how I'll be able to triple that, but it will happen. Yearly goal is to be able to have a continuous business in my wholesaling to where I have enough capital to start investing in apartments myself.
That's cool, man. So you're pretty much clear on what's your path toward achieving what you want, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Good stuff. Now, I think that Pablo, you should go next.
Okay.
Share with us your goal.
Yeah, man. So I'm not as clear as Michael, but my monthly goal is to get to the point where I have $7,000 coming in the door monthly. You know, by the end of May, I need to have a clear path of where I'm going to be bringing in $7,000 a month. My quarterly goal is to, I guess that's my quarterly goal. My monthly goal would be finish my book and finish my course. And my yearly goal is to speak in front of 10,000 people total.
Perfect. Awesome. Yeah. So slowly you will get there, you know? Yeah. We will, do the best. We can support you on that. So, Jeremy.
Yeah. So for me, the monthly goal is really to, right now we're working on a couple strategies. I want to see some of them turn profits in the back testing, which we've seen a bit of that. But it's basically just hustling on that, getting them launched and demo trading. So that just means, trading on a demo account. It's like fake money, but it's real trading. And we'll see how that goes for 3 months. So that's the close goal. But also personally, I need to keep track of my monthly cash flow. So that's one thing I'm working on. So basically, I should know at the end of the month exactly how much went in and out. And then in terms of the quarterly goal, it would be doubling down on those numbers. So I want to figure out additional income streams while this business is getting set up to ensure that I'll always be positive for the month. So that's really the biggest goal for the next several months. And then for Algobank, we want to keep deploying new strategies, find investors. So that's kind of the next stage, is like get people invested in it. So yeah, if we can get like either one investor with a large amount of cash or several investors who are going to be our first people, that'd be good. And then yearly, I would love to see Algobank, be truly launched. So essentially running, making money for people, flowing into our business and ready to be scaled to kind of like from 1 to 1 million. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, that's about it, I think.
Yeah, perfect. Anyway, Jeremy was going a little bit over time, like for 1 minute.
Oh, sorry.
But I'm not sure.
What that noise was?
I should bring my timer closer. I'm not sure if you heard it. And that's my 30 seconds right now. So I got 2 goals right now, okay? 2 goals, okay? And I'm pretty much very clear on them. The first one is for my local business. I want to sell for, let's say, $4,000 in next 2 months, which is 2 sales a week. Is that perfect calculation? Something like that. And the other goal is that I want to be making $1,000 for my premium life community. Okay, which means that I need to recruit 60 people who are paying $20 for the smallest membership. Okay, so yeah, I'm not sure. Did I do that calculation right? The first one, $4,000 in 2 months, 500 to say $1,000 a week. Should be $8,000 2 months. All right, no problem. It's written on my wall. Anyway, I need to be clear with that. Look, guys, now we're going to review the last week's failures and successes. Okay, each of us is going to be given a minute. Okay, you can share your failures and successes, and then the other 2 members are going to be given each 30 seconds, and they're going to comment on your failures and successes. Okay. So who wants to begin with sharing the past week's goals, past week's failures and successes? 1 minute. Who wants to begin?
I can go.
Awesome. Wait, let me go. And start.
Who's
going?
All right. Past week successes. I got a lead magnet done talking about the easiest way to start a conversation at networking events. And I also closed a big deal where I'm going to be setting up a podcast recording studio inside of this Latin American tech conference in Miami. And hopefully that's going to lead to me being the face of this conference's media company. Failures, I haven't really moved the needle as much as I wanted to in creating my online course. But apart from that, everything's been pretty good.
Man, that's awesome. You still got another 30 seconds to finalize. If you want, regarding to
Dude, I'm keeping it tight, man. I'm working out a lot. My body, like, I'm feeling great. I've been eating healthy. You know, like physically, I'm like feeling as good as I've ever been. I'm like within 3 pounds of the best weight I've ever been in when I had a 6-pack in college.
Man, you've done great stuff. Yeah. So I want to give you now, you're going to get a question from one of the members, okay? Because each of them is going to give you 36 seconds, either a question or a compliment or whatever. So I think Michael, should you ask him something?
Absolutely. So I'm actually really intrigued into the fitness portion, because I can tell that you are very passionate about that, which I have a personal passion for it as well. I majored in exercise science. So I guess my question for you is, what changes have you made recently that has caused you to be so more active into fitness? Like, you know, what, like, are you changing your diet, your workout routine? Like, you know, what regimen are you currently doing?
Yeah, my diet's been, am I answering, or is this just all questions, Primos?
You got 30 seconds to reply.
Okay. My diet's been pretty tight, man. Like, my wife and I eat really clean. We've been doing that for a long time. I basically, what's happened is I've been surfing a bunch, man, but I added running into my life, and I'm like super back in love with running. So I'm running a ton. It's great for me mentally. And now I'm going to go do like a Spartan sprint race next weekend.
Yeah. Nice.
Awesome. Jeremy, you ask him another question or a comment.
So that's awesome. I'm curious, I guess, about the lead magnet. So what, or maybe explain it quick.
Yeah, man, I think I'm going to get a chance to present it, but essentially I just wrote out a document that is the easiest way to start a conversation at a networking event. And I went through, I took a piece out of my speech and I just broke it down into like a 1-pager, which you guys are about to hear about: the mindset of walking into a networking event, the main opportunities to start a conversation when you're walking in, main opportunities to start an easy conversation while you're there, and a little bit more. Definitely. So I'm going to put my brand on that. I can blast that out to everybody in the world. Like, hey man, you want to learn how to start a conversation? Here, bro, share this with your friends.
Man, it's Sweet. A great lead magnet. Honestly, I want to read it. Yeah, that was perfect. Now, and Jeremy, you go by sharing your past week's successes and failures again. 1 minute.
Okay, cool. So successes. We already have 2 strategies that are basically done. One of them is looking profitable, so we'll see how it goes. We are starting on the next 2. We got my brother and his friend working for us, hopefully as kind of like interns, developing one of them. So yeah, as far as losses, it was tough because I was working on his Windows machine remotely, but I ended up getting a Windows computer. So luckily that already kind of turned into a flip scenario. We're still trying to figure out profits. Personally, my sleep quality is still a bit low, and my personal finance is still like tough to wrangle. Yeah, I think that's it.
Awesome. Somebody's going to give a question. I think should be, let's say, me, because I didn't give any question to you. So let me set this up. I want to ask you, but how that's a good question. Okay, how are you going to, developing a software or a program? Okay, it's not easy to add fire on your personal finances. All right. What are you thinking about adding something in your life that's going to support you more financially, or do you think you can, break through burning of your savings and you can still, make it up with your software in the future? I mean, just a question.
Yeah, for sure. So I have a couple ideas. I think the biggest one is just I'd like to see about spend 1 week and then spend like maybe an hour a day or 2 hours a day, cold call some like businesses and basically offer my software consulting services. So this would essentially be, yeah, like, hey, I checked your website and here's like ABC that I think would drive X% more traffic. That could be, this many people. But basically, I'll try to do a question first, like ask them how it's going and stuff. But like, and basically cold call and see if I can hit up 20 businesses. That might add more income.
That's a very good point, man. I want to address this later on because that's what I'm doing now. I'm doing cold calls to business owners. So that was awesome. Now, let's say, Michael, can you add the question to give him a question?
Yeah, I guess it's catered towards your finances as well. So in terms of the finances, obviously, more work equals more money. But have you been like planning or strategizing how you can maintain the money that you have now until you get to that point? Or is it more of just like everything that you're doing is pretty much just burning through your resources and you can't save? Like, is it more of you can't save, or is it more you're just like, not organized enough?
Yeah, I would say the hardest thing is knowing, exactly where my money is all going so that I can set that target number and like know how much extra income I would need.
Gotcha. I mean, I ask because I also did the same situation. So,
yeah. I would say I'm kind of hoping the business takes off soon enough, but still scraping by, and like I want to get at least a little bit positive income every month. So that's my goal.
Gotcha.
I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. Good stuff, Michael. Should you share your past weeks? What happened to you?
Absolutely. So last week, my past failure, I don't really call it a failure, but it is a failure, was I was literally 6 hours late on my offer for a very great deal. I had a buyer who was ready, but they were running on California time, which is 3 hours later than I am. So they were kind of slower than needed. So I was kind of late on my offer, which made me lose the deal. Which the lesson learned, obviously, is just to be more on point, more on target, quicker, on my toes when it comes to these things. So that's definitely something I've learned the hard way. My successes is I, for one, got one of my main properties under contract, so we're ready to close the title, so that's really good. The second one is I have a viewing tomorrow for my 15-unit apartment, so that will be closing very quickly as well. So successes are definitely outweighing the failures, so that's always good.
Good job, man. Good job. Pablo, you can comment him.
Yeah, man. When you say that you want to be quicker and more on point, how are you measuring that?
Definitely being more organized for sure. And just being more on point and more organized with my people. I tend to put too much of things in other people's hands that are out of my control, but there's still ways that I can control it, even though it's not in my control, if that makes sense. So I just need to just start thinking outside the box and being more creative on how I can deal with my time for sure.
Yeah. It's important how organized you are. I'm finding this on my own because I lose myself in my screen. I got like few projects, I got few lists of people and few things like that. So it's not easy to be organized. Yeah. One thing hit me regarding to you, Michael. So are you doing any cold calls right now to get more of the prospects into your
So when I first started, I definitely did nothing but cold calls, like over 100 200 calls a day. But now I got to the point where I've networked and created relationships with certain people, so where now it's more of a networking
Yes.
And swapping deals kind of thing than it is more of like cold calling. So I kind of graduated to the next step in terms of less cold calls, more negotiation. So
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, cold calling is always ideal. So I need to actually start doing that more.
Because that, give me 10 seconds, like kind of, that's what I found out as well. At the beginning you make cold calls, you build that list, but then you got already so many things happening that you got that huge list and you can just keep returning and circling around. So it's huge opportunity for networking, which is true, and you keep meeting new people and some other people recommend to your clients and you need to call them. So it's all happening around and around already. So it's not necessary to do cold calls anymore that later much on. So yeah, pretty much cool stuff. Now, I think I'm only one left who should share the successes and failures. Yeah, and then you can give me questions. Let's say successes. Okay. Finally, I broke through that thing that it's very easy for me to make a call right now. Okay, to any business owner, and I'm so happy if I can make a call to a bigger business owner that those people who have restaurants and like small pastry shops or whatever, because those people, they don't have any cash. Okay, but Michael, that's a very good thing what I'm going to share with you right now. Okay, give me 20 seconds. I called the luxury real estate guy. Okay, because I'm promoting, I do promotional videos and photography to businesses. Okay, and the secretary picked up the phone and she said that the director is there, and I called this guy, whatever. I lost myself a little bit right now. So I got the contact of the real estate guy, and I gave him a proposal on the email, and I'm going to make a video and photography for him. So you can give me a question.
Nice, man. Yeah, so I mean, in terms of the proposal, what exactly are you proposing to him? Like, what benefits can you bring to his business?
Yeah, so I'm a photographer and filmmaker. I got a specific offer that I proposed to them, okay? And I give them the email because later on, email is like an anchor to me, all right? To talk to them more about what I offer, all right? But I usually give them 3 hours of me personally coming to the location, either that's a hotel or it's whatever, or real estate, whatever. In 3 hours, I take photographs and I create a 2-minute presentational video for them, all right? And I create also 3 short videos for Instagram, like 30 seconds, 45 seconds videos. So that's my proposal. And I charge them like $500 for this first collaboration, and that's my pitch, and it's going straight forward. So I'm pretty much clear and clean with that. Okay, maybe I sound a little bit lost right now, but when I'm doing that, I got a straight sales process anyway. Yeah,
that's perfect, man. Just kind of add on to that as well. I mean, in terms of the real estate, that's perfect. To be a videographer, photographer, because we need it in terms of like realtors who are trying to show their homes and whatnot. So that's perfect, bro. I mean, I really hope that all goes well.
Primos, I got something for you, bro. Okay. Everybody needs videos, man. So you were just talking to me about how you're having a problem recruiting people to this mastermind and having a value for it. I think if you tell everybody, listen, when you're in my mastermind, I record every call, and after every call, you're going to get a 1-minute video segment of the smartest shit that you just said. And at the end is your brand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like
then people want it, man. That's the whole deal I'm pulling off at Emerge, bro. People want that.
Make them feel important.
Yeah. Make them feel important. And you give them, just put your brand and their brand at the end. And then everybody's going to share it. And then you're going to get reach for your mastermind outreach organically, and you're providing a great value for everybody here.
This was very good what you just said, because this can be actually part of the membership that they are paying, because
that's what I'm saying.
Because I can just have a virtual assistant who does this for everybody and just bam, like.
And it's easy, bro. Just take out the 1-minute segment of the smartest thing they said. Boom. Like, you're giving us all an opportunity to speak. So we're all talking about things. We're inevitably going to say something intelligent or something we want to share. Yeah. You know what I mean? And those are all lead magnets for everybody. And everybody's
looking for. And Pablo, I can use that app, that you shared with us. You remember that app?
Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah. I got to share that. I don't know if they gave me that affiliate link or not, but whatever, man. If they're sleeping on it too much, it's waves.
So that was really huge value right now. Thanks, man, for sharing this with us. Yes. That was very important right now, because now I can, sell even more. Okay, so that was it for the reviewing past weeks. Okay, I think you should give us the motivational part regarding to networking right now, because you have your like 3 minutes. Okay, and then we are going to be planning next week. Okay, the same way as we were planning.
Do you mind if I run and go get my blazer so that you can then give me the video? I can edit it myself, but like I like to have a blazer as kind of my brand.
Go for it, man. I will do it for you. Don't worry. You just get yourself ready. Meanwhile, we can talk.
All right.
Yeah, man. So that was good, man.
Yeah, it was definitely a good call today, man. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
But yeah, for me, tell me.
Oh no, I was gonna change the subject completely. So what were you gonna say?
I'm not sure. I'm a little bit, the Premium Live project is very new to me, I'm very experienced in videos and photographs, and that's the thing that is very easy for me to sell right now. But the Premium Live kind of doesn't have that much value yet, because I don't even know the complete sales process and what's the product. I mean, so I'm going to share with you the things later on anyway, how even the back end of Premium Live works, but yeah.
Gotcha.
It's going to be good. Now,
well, this is gonna be recorded. I'm gonna be on it. Let me take my glasses off so I look good. Hold on. All right, now I'm ready to go.
Now you're ready to go. Yeah. Good. So now the next step is, Pablo, please share with us your motivational part, okay? Because I want you to inspire us regarding to the networking knowledge that you have. So here is your 3 minutes.
So do you want motivation, or do you want, I was going to go practical. I can add motivation at the end.
Yeah, it's your time. So it's kind of,
okay.
You got motivational, practical, inspirational, knowledgeable. That's what I can say. So yeah.
Cool. Let me set my timer on so I know where I'm at. All right. You want to know the easiest way to start a conversation when you walk into a networking event or a conference? First of all, you got to think about the mindset. Remember, absolutely everybody there is there to meet somebody new. They wouldn't have gotten out of bed. They wouldn't have left their hotel room if they didn't believe this. They know the value of meeting somebody, or else they wouldn't be at a networking event. So think about it in the sense that you're doing every person you introduce yourself a great service by making that easy for them. This applies to the two people that showed up together and haven't stopped talking to each other. It applies to the person that looks like they're checking their email on their phone. And it applies to the person sitting alone at a table when every other table has multiple people. Save them from their own insecurities and be their hero. Remember that. So now let's talk about the perfect opportunities for an introduction. When you first arrive, if you're in an elevator, if this is a multiple level building, you're going to share an elevator with somebody. It doesn't hurt anything to ask, hey, are you going to this event also? Right? If they say yes, boom, you're walking in with a buddy. You already have a friend. At the registration line, every single one of these events have some sort of check-in procedure where you're inevitably going to be 2 or 3 people deep before you pick up your name tag. That's the perfect moment to turn to the person in front of you, turn to the person behind you, introduce yourself, your pick on who you want to talk to. Now, when you're inside the event space, maybe you walked in, you didn't make a connection with any of these people, it's a little bit different. Every single networking event has some kind of floater, somebody walking around the room looking longingly, trying to not look long, or trying not to look longingly for somewhere or someone to stop and have a conversation with. Be that person's, be their hero. Introduce yourself to them. You're doing them a huge favor by not letting them look like the poor schmo by themselves, right? There's also always going to be a bar or a food line, right? If you get into some kind of moment where you're at a pause, you can go to any of those lines. And again, you're in a line. You can introduce yourself to the person in front of you or the person behind you. If there's any kind of table, look for any table, any amount of people that are there. You see an open chair. All you got to do is ask, is this seat taken? First person that answers, hey, my name is Pablo Gonzalez. Voila, you're in a conversation. So next thing to think about when you're starting a conversation, good conversations are not about what you tell people. They're about how you make people feel. So don't focus on what you're going to say. Focus on asking good questions that allow your friends to open up about something they care about. Don't focus on landing a customer or convincing someone of something. Focus on providing value to them. This will make them happy to talk or meet up with you next time when you can then get your ask in. All right, so I got a little more time there. Can I finish? All right. So my favorite conversation starters, what brings you here? right? That's my number one go-to. This allows the new person you're talking to tell you their motivation for being there. Maybe they're there for business. Maybe they're there for a cause. Maybe they're there because they just needed to get out the house and make some new friends. Either way, when you know someone's motivation, it's easier to provide them value and it's easier to connect with them. Another good one, how's business, or what are you working on these days? Notice I'm not asking what you do or what do you do. That's a canned question. You're going to get a canned response. The way you phrase a question greatly impacts the outcome of your answer. These two questions allow the subject to give you insight into a pain or a pleasure point. If you can help reduce pain or increase pleasure, you're providing value. And remember, you don't have to have a solution for someone. All you need to do is ask probing questions that allows them to either see a problem from a new perspective or just help them process the scenario. Another one, what are you looking forward to these days? How sick are you about talking about work, right? Chances are so is this person. Asking someone about their hobbies provides great insight into who they are and what they're about. This is just a universal way to ask what they do for fun or what trips they have coming up without pigeonholing them into either response. Instead, it makes them pause, think of something that brings them joy, and they have you to thank for it. That by itself is valuable. So I got more, but that's a good
job. Yeah, man. That's awesome, man. This is something that people need as well, man. How to really network and not feel shy, or how do you say the other word is when you're uncomfortable? What is that? Another one?
Yeah, man. Just
like
to
awkward.
feel uncomfortable, feel awkward. Yeah, that's the move. Awkward.
Or disconnected and stuff, on not being part of it. So awesome, man. That was pretty cool, man. Good stuff.
Yeah, so I'll share the rest here is like I have like a sample question tree, right, where I just go, into a scenario of asking questions. I'll share this with you guys the same way that Jeremy just did.
Yeah, that's going to be in your course as well, huh? You're going to make a product out of it, of course.
Yeah.
That's amazing, yeah. Good stuff. Now,
it's good to know how long that took me, right? That took me, what, like 4 minutes and 21 seconds to get there?
Yeah.
I went fucking fast.
Yeah. So, we need to plan the next week now. Okay, what are our plans for the next week? Okay, so it's going to be again for each individual for now until I change the things in the future, however, but that's perfect. So again, 1 minute for you to plan, or 30 seconds or however, and then two of the members are going to ask you the important suggestions or questions. So Jeremy, should you start now?
Yep, I can go. Cool. So for this next week, my main focus is on, getting my work done for AlgoBank. So keeping that rolling. I also want to keep on my daily habits. So like waking up early, going to bed early. I got like a morning routine. And I also need to keep on my finances. So every day or every other day for 2 hours instead, like just figuring out what is my cash flow. Spend like an hour a day, maybe just cold calling some businesses to close income. And yeah, I think that's really the main important things for this next week.
Awesome. Do you want to ask him something, Pablo? Okay.
I'm sorry. I got a little bit distracted because I was reviewing.
Yeah, I thought you were ready. You were in your own world. Anyway, Michael then, and I'm going to ask you, and then Michael first if you want.
Yeah, sorry, I continue to mute myself because it's traffic. But yeah, not necessarily a question. I guess more of just a word of encouragement. Is as you're focusing on your finances and your sleep, because obviously sleep is important. Just write it down. We always talk about writing things down, but I don't think people actually do it. Not saying that you don't, but if you don't, definitely just write down and kind of keep track of your daily habits. That would really help you. Tomorrow when you see what you did today, which you can probably change or improve or stop doing, whatever it may be. So simply just write some stuff down, man. It'll help for sure.
Yeah.
That's a good point, because I had a sheet and then I lost it. So thank you, because that reminds me oh well, yeah, obviously it's Thursday now, but starting Monday I should probably just pull out the sheet and make sure that I'm writing it down every day.
Yes, sir.
I can see that. Good. And Jeremy, I wanted to say to you, you're saying that you would like to cold call, the people. What would you offer to them? And first of all, what would you offer to them? And then let me give you a sub question later. So what would you offer to them?
Yeah, well, Primos, I'd like to do a more in-depth chat with you about cold calling in the future. But for now, I'll answer your question. I mean, just so for me, it's offering software consulting. So it's literally like if you go to any medium-sized business and you go and look at their website, you're going to find several things that are going to be opportunity points. Like, oh, if you did this, if you tweak this, you're going to have who knows how much more business. And some people, they don't even know what business is coming in. So like adding analytics could be step zero. So yeah, that's basically all it is. Yeah,
But,
I mean, there's also this website I can share that's kind of interesting.
Would you be able to discuss, these tweaks and changes and opportunities for that software with their software developers?
Well, yeah, possibly. It depends on the business. Like some of them, like they outsourced it to India and now they just have all the code. So it really depends on the business. That's a very highly variable thing.
Stuff. So I'm going to give you a few suggestions probably later on. But yeah, I mean, I studied kind of sales, a lot of things. I watched everything from Grant, and also I just studied the seminar last week. It was like for 2 days. I was 10 hours at home. I studied it, so I kind of know exactly the pitch and the sales process, through the qualification process, presentation, and closing. So yeah, I'm going to suggest you later. Yeah. Now, who wants to start with planning the next week? Pablo or Michael?
Sure. What is it? I'm supposed to say what I'm planning to do this week for next week?
Yeah. What you're planning to do from today onwards next week? What's your plan?
Yeah, man. So I got to get this conference deal that I'm pulling off starts not this Sunday, but next Sunday. So I'm going to Miami Tuesday. I'm going to be like rehearsing what we're doing, button everything up. So I got to have that done. I got to have that completely done by Thursday, by our next call. I want to have at least the full outline of the course. I'm going to put it out there, have the full outline of how the course is going to flow so then I can start, delivering it. I want to get back to Jacksonville. Like I have a partnership with a real estate company that has a sick marketing department to film it there. And I want to do by the week that I get back, the second, the following week, I want to start filming that course and start having some of that done.
Good. I forgot to put the timer, but you were on time anyway. Yeah. So, let's say, Michael, did you want to ask him something or suggest him?
Yeah. In terms of, I guess, the work that you have planned for yourself, it sounds like you're gonna have like a boatload of work to do between now and then, which is obviously doable. You're just gonna, probably take some sleepless nights, like Jeremy's taking right now. So I guess, like, what will consist of you like getting the everything done in terms of the book and everything? Like what is something I'm still like somewhat new into understanding exactly how you go about doing that. Yeah. So I guess what else needs to be done for that to be accomplished by the end of the week?
Bro, so the book, to me, the book gets done when I finish the course. The book is a derivative of the course, right? Like the course is like it's probably gonna, I would assume it's gonna be like 3 to 4 hours of content. And the book is going to be like 1 hour of transcribed content from the course, essentially, right? So like that's why to me, the big domino is the course. But I'm not trying to finish that in a week, right? Like I just have the project that I have going on is that there's this tech conference in Miami. That's a Latin American tech conference where like North America and Latin American tech meet. And I pitched them to have like an expo booth there. That's a podcast. And it's their 5th year. They're trying to turn into a media company instead of an event company, and Pitbull just bought a minority piece of it. So they're trying to be TED, right, for Latin American tech. So I'm setting up a podcast recording studio and reaching out to the startups that are competing there and reaching out to some of the VIP attendees so that we can do podcast interviews there that then will turn into their YouTube channel and their podcast channel. And then, Primos, this is where I got the idea. We're going to be sending everybody that we interview 1 minute, 3 minute snippets of like them sounding like geniuses with the branded background, so then it becomes like the viral distribution of it all. So, the whole background of that, I have this experiential marketing company doing it. I'm basically writing the copy and just making sure everything is tight and coordinating.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Good.
All right.
Jeremy, did you want to ask him or I do it? Anyway.
Yeah, so that's amazing. Do you see any blockers that like might get in the way?
Yeah, and beside of that, I wanted to ask you, where are you getting the experience from setting the podcast studio from?
I got an experiential marketing company down in Miami that's handling all that, man. It's all a win-win because it's a huge lead gen for them, and this becomes a product for them to sell to other people at other booths, at other expos.
Yeah, and Jeremy asked you what could be the obstacle or something like that.
The obstacle is the fact that the head of marketing for Emerge right now isn't being very responsible. I mean, like she has a shitload on her plate because she has this event coming up, but like, it's coming up on a week out and we got to start sending out the emails that I wrote and it's got to go in through their CRM and whatever. So I need to become a blip on her screen and get a meeting with her tomorrow kind of thing. So that to me is the biggest obstacle is if Emerge isn't playing ball, then it's going to make what we're trying to do in order to make it really valuable for them. It's going to make it much harder.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, awesome. So I lost a little bit the track. Who needs to plan the week? Yeah, Jeremy, eh?
No, I already said mine, so
I would be next.
Then Michael, yeah, sorry.
Yep. So I mean, my work is pretty, simple, straightforward, man. It's kind of continuous on what I've already do. But next week's plan is to obviously close the deal that I have in contract right now, and then also get the apartment that I'm showing tomorrow under contract and ready to close. So that would be my two main focuses for next week.
Yeah, and let me kind of ask you, are these apartments they're from somebody else? Yeah, you're just the broker or something like that, or
basically, yeah. You can, terminology to keep it simple. I'm the broker of the deal.
Yeah, good.
Without being the actual broker.
Yeah, what about that contract that you're closing? The bigger one. What's your job there?
So the contract, I connected the homeowner who's trying to sell their home, and I found, so I'm wholesaling. So I found an investor who would like to purchase that home. So we pretty much got it all under agreement on paper for this to go down. So now we just have to go to the title company and get this taken care of, which it can be pretty quick, or it can be pretty slow depending on the title company and the documents needed, and all the boring stuff that comes along with it. But so that deal is pretty much sealed. It's terms of just it's a waiting game. The apartment, I need to actually get the apartment under agreement with one of my buyers who will be looking at it tomorrow.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Jeremy, you have another question for him?
I guess I'm just curious if there's any like challenges that you face being unlicensed, or if it's all good, and then or maybe.
I guess there's always challenges. I would say one of the biggest challenges is not having access to a lot of software and connections that a realtor would have due to them being licensed. But at the same time, being a realtor would actually limit me in the line of work that I do personally, because there's a lot more guidelines and regulations that you can't cross being a licensed realtor. So I would say that the biggest challenge is simply just not having access to certain software to market my product the way I need to market it.
But have you looked into the home rolled marketing and so forth, or you do a lot of networking, right? So
yeah, it's more of I'm better when it comes to like online marketing. That's something I'm not really ideal in. I would like to get better at it, but I'm a lot better with face to face. Talking to you in person, negotiating. The old school, like direct sales. That's what I came into, is direct sales. So that's what I'm used to, which is why I'm able to generate the leads that I have now, in the trust I would have in the people that I network with, because I'm more face to face. You
got money to put into. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry, Jeremy.
Oh, I was just curious if the online marketing is something that you need or you want to go into. Could you do it all face to face?
So the online marketing is something I do plan to do once I start generating enough capital to pay for it, because nowadays, with online marketing being the thing to do, the prices are a little higher. So for me to market the way I would like to, it's going to take some capital. So once I start closing these deals consecutively, which could be here this month, next month, I do start planning on getting into the online aspect for sure.
Cool. Michael, I would advise you, before you get into online marketing, just start practicing generating content, man. Because the big differentiator in online marketing, you're going to get, there's two types of marketers. There's the people that are just like data nerds that are going to be able to this is what makes sense, but they're still going to need your content. They're still going to need, the more different kinds of content you have that they can get feedback from, the more effective there will be. or you can pay a little bit of a premium and bring on somebody that can also give you strategy and help you through that, right? But like, it'll be more cost effective for you if you're already in the mindset of generating your own content, so that the data nerd can just go out there and test and test and test and test and test. It'll be much faster.
Smart. Okay.
Yeah. We need to get some online digital marketer into this group anyway soon. But
dude, I got online marketers coming out of my ears, bro.
See, that's why. Okay, let's go to the next thing that I'm going to share with you now. I mean, it's my turn for 1 minute, okay, to plan the next week. And then from that, you can pull on, all right, with your suggestion or questions. So what I'm going to be doing this next week, okay, is I'm still going to be focusing very much on doing look, Jeremy, that's a good thing. What I found out, how sales calls for me are working best. Okay, I block out 30 minutes, all right, and I just pick up the phone and pick up the phone and pick up the phone from the list, all right. And then after 30 minutes expire, I sent out the proposals that I generated in these 30 minutes. Usually per 30 minutes, I generate like 6 or 7 proposals on their emails, all right. Look, that's one thing. So I'm going to be focusing on doing that even also next week, each day, like 4 blocks of 30 minutes, whatever, average. The second thing, what I'm going to be doing, I need to start reaching out to more people on Facebook and LinkedIn for my premium life purposes, all right, which is recruiting, okay, invitation to see what I got for them, and then getting them on the discovery call, and from there here in our group into trial group, all right. So, but that thing, okay, my minute is up, but let me just say that thing takes me so much time when I need to network with people through Facebook, because half of the people don't even respond and stuff like that, okay? So I just, I'm kind of reaching out to my Filipino virtual assistant again, and she's going to be sending my, my 1 paragraph messages out to people, you know, and so those who reply, that's where I'm going to be dealing onwards from, all right? So now you can give me some questions. I'm going to be still focusing on these 2 things, all right? But yeah.
Hey guys, I got a 2 o'clock call that I got to hop off for.
Yep.
Not a problem. Yes.
See you, man. Continue, guys.
Take care, bro.
Bye.
Yeah, anyway.
Yo, Primos, that's awesome. I don't know how you generate like 6 proposals from 30 minutes. So share your secrets with me, maybe offline, since this is coming to a close.
I'm going to, because let me reply to you right now. Look, the key to come to the end, to the close, is having proposal in place anyway. Okay, so you need to go through the stage of giving to people the proposal. All right, look, all of these proposals are not very hot that I send out, and all of them are anyway my basic offer to them, which is 2-minute video and blah 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 and blah blah blah. All right, so all of these people actually get my basic proposal to them, because this proposal for me is an anchor that I'm going to use for them to start closing the deal, because we are just going to be adjusting my main offer later on when I'm closing the deal. Oh, they will say to me, I don't want this and I want that, all right? Add this in, can you decrease the price? Can you do blah, 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 blah. So you see, the proposal is just an anchor, and everybody needs to get my proposal, okay? And yeah, anyway, I'm going to look, from these 6 or 10 proposals that I give out, I'm going to sell 1, you know, not really.
Okay. So they really are just warm leads, but that's still pretty good. Like 30 minutes, 1 customer, like depends on the deal size.
Yeah, but even we don't need to say 30 minutes, 1 customer. Let's say 3 or 4 blocks to get 2 clients out. I mean, this is pretty cool, you know. I mean, I'm confident with doing it, because today, I mean, I just networked with 2 or 3 huge, like the guy has like 4 or 5 or 6 biggest hotels or resorts here in my country, you know. And the other lady is the marketing director for 2 big hotels, you know, and blah, blah, blah. So pretty cool, man. Yeah, Michael, did you want to add?
I mean, yeah, in terms of the cold calls, man, I'm just stick with it. You know, obviously as you continue to grow and continue to do it, the odds will be a lot less. So out of the 6 calls you make, next time you might end up getting 2 deals instead of 1. So you will understand, you know, what you need to improve on, what you need to add, what you need to take away. So it just takes consistency, bro. So I mean, honestly, you're on the right track, is what I'm saying. You're doing
yeah. I'm pretty much I'm not too bad with sales calls, you know. So now I'm focusing on the premium life, you know. But I need to talk.
But I hate to cut this short though, you guys. I have to actually hop on another conference call here at 2:00.
Yeah.
But I do have the links that you guys shared in here. I'll be looking into that, and then I'll be texting you guys on Facebook as well for any additional questions.
Good stuff. We'll chat to you later anyway.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Take care.
See ya. Bye. Bye. Right, let me just open the window.
Yeah, so Primoz, actually, this is perfect because I want to dig in maybe a little more on the cold calls, just because it's kind of, I would like to probably next week just test it out, like an hour a day, 5 days, call some businesses, pitch what I think I got, and then see what they say, you know?
Yeah, that is one thing that you start with, all right? The first thing that you start with is pitch script, okay? And I'm going to share it with you, all right? You will actually need to just change your service and your name and stuff like that. And because I studied this script out of the seminar that I studied last time, and it's going to be very simple. So depends who are you going to be calling to, okay? I can describe it to you right now, okay? But mostly when you call a company, all right, the secretary is going to pick up, you know, and you don't need to worry about that, because you're just going to say to her, hi, did I reach this and that company? All right. And she's going to say yes. And then you say, can I speak to the director, you know? And then either she's going to direct you to the director, or she's going to actually ask you, why do you want to speak to the director? All right. And if she asks you that, you need to say immediately, it's Primoz Lazar here. I am from this and that company. I'm creating beautiful promotional videos and photography. And I just wanted to ask, you know, the director if I can, maybe I'm a little bit too long right now, but I wanted to ask the director if I can help the company with the promoting of their company. Can I get any email of the director or a phone number so I can reach out to him or her? You know, because your goal is to either be reconnected to the director or get at least his email, because you want to be sending the proposal out to the director. Because without the proposal, you don't have to seek anything with the director anyway, you know?
Okay, so if I understand though, sometimes you'll get a phone number, in which case you will cold call the director then. I mean, it's kind of like at that point you're referred from the secretary, right? So obviously there's going to be a stage 2, like probably that is in this. You said you have a script that you'll send over. But my next question is about the email. So like, let's say that they just give you the email. They're like, okay, here's the email of the director. And then of course you would just email the proposal. So at that point, it's kind of like, it's like a warm email, I guess, to the director, but you know.
Yeah, I usually say in the email, I actually have the English version as well, because I needed to translate it, okay? But maybe, look, I'm not sure. I don't need to go into the email right now. I'm going to share it with you later. But the point is that the decision maker is always the director or marketing director in my case, because promotional videos and photography is for marketing department, okay? But for your department, it's software department, okay? So the software department is anyway the person who is going to be analyzing your proposal before the director. Depends.
That's true. But you know, for me, it could be marketing as well, because I'm targeting the customer facing landing page, because that's what matters to the business. Yeah. So it could be both, you know.
Yeah, could be both. It's a collab between the company. But my point is, look, Jeremy, you are going to need to be really good in what you're doing, okay? Not in the sales, but your product in some way.
Yeah.
Because I personally, I am breaking through right now through my sales very well, just because I'm a good salesperson and because my product is good. Because all of those people who see my email, they click on the website. Look, my email is very branded, all right? It's very branded, all right? It's my details below with my logo, beautiful logo, with my link to the website, which is, when they click, it's all branded nicely. And they have all my video projects there, you know. And they click one or any video and they see that's a great content, you know. And you see, they don't deal with this anymore. They know that I'm good, you know. So that's how I'm making it work, because my product is kind of good, you know, and I'm actually just dealing with that. If they have enough money, if they have a need for this great product, or if blah, 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 you know what I mean? I never deal with my product is not good enough for them. I always, you know what I mean? I never deal with that my product is not good enough for them, because I just deal with that. If they have a need, my product is perfect for them, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, my point is that what you do, I mean, it's not tested yet, you know. I'm not sure if it is, because I'm not sure if you were doing that before for anybody, you know. But
right, okay, I think I get what you're saying. So that's what I'm gonna do, actually. Like, even if I don't do any cold calls this week, I think it's more important for me to define my offering. So basically, like, what is it I bring to the table? Once I have kind of that offering, and it may be different offerings to different businesses, but I should have that highly defined. So that's what I'm gonna start with.
Because that's the thing, you know. I spent like 1 month or 2 weeks, you know, to get myself together, you know, before I started making sales calls. You know, I tried doing sales calls like 1 month ago already, but I was not that ready as I'm now, you know. So that time was not that good, but I made some contacts, you know. But I called more like low quality hanging fruit, like restaurants or whatever. But now I can call hotels now and big resorts. Look, I'm going to share with you the screen really quick so you can see my designs, you know, and whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Because it's just very simple. So, and look, you will see how organized I am here on my computer. But
wait, is that a picture of you on your own desktop?
Yeah, why not, man?
That's hilarious. I mean, I love it.
Man, bro, it inspires me now, because right now I'm not in that kind of office, but
I see. So this is like, okay, that's future Primos. I gotta go.
Yeah, it's like my highest.
That's really smart. I like that.
It's my
Dude, I should do that. I gotta get that.
Yeah, it's kind of my highest potential there, you know. It's not really my highest, but you know, that's where I feel the best, when I'm suited, when I feel good in a good environment. But you know, here when I'm working from home, it's not always like that. It's not my real office, by the way, but don't tell me. Don't tell me.
Of course.
So yeah, look, here I can go into my business, and these are my proposals. Okay, look, first of all, I got here like templates, you know. These templates, look, this one is in English actually, all right? This is the template that I use for every proposal that I send out, okay? I'm sorry, but this website link is not in English yet, all right? So you don't need to understand. But anyway, this is my company. I mean, this is my brand. This is my company here. Oh, sorry, wait, I need to Control Z. You know, everything like here, this is proposal for creation of the promotional media. I'm not sure if that's the perfect English, but whatever, the date and proposal made for, you know. This is the only thing that I changed in my, here is, I just paste the name of their company, you know. Yeah. And I leave all of this the same way as it is for everybody, because I don't have time to change, except if I agreed with them on some customization already on the phone, you know.
Right.
Or I add some product photography or whatever. Okay, I'm very cautious. Okay, and that's it. All right, that's the proposal, and then I export this as PDF, you know, bam, and I just attach that to the email. Okay, but that's my template. All right, but here I already have all the proposals that I sent out, you know. And they are ordered by the date, you know, because look, today I sent out like 13 proposals, you know, except this one. This is the template. So 12 proposals sent out today, you know, because after 2 days I'm going to be seeing these dates, you know, and I'm going to be calling people back for follow-up. Okay.
Yeah, like, hey, did you get my proposal? Like, what do you think? You know.
Yes, exactly. Perfect. And look how organized how my list looks like, you know, because I actually have a special list for my cold calls. So I can usually what I do, look, this is for Premium Life Recruiting, or this is sales calls is for my local business. I just right click, and all of the three documents that I need for my calls open up. All right.
Yep.
So this is my list, you know. This is my list of all the calls that I made, you know. It's all colored, you know, it's all ready, you know.
Yeah, that's cool. All right. Yeah.
So let me just maybe explain you for, let's say here down there, these are the calls that I still need to do. Okay. And I actually just keep adding people in here, you know, the companies, you know, but how it works is that, I usually look, what I need is just name of the company and I need their phone name. That's all I need, nothing else. I'm going to get their email on the call anyway. And here, this means, this is in my language, sorry, but it says description of the, and I make notes here, all right, for each, because always you need to make notes, because next week you are not going to know anything anymore about this call, you know.
Right, yeah. So you gotta have it all in there that you can get on the phone with them and pretend like you know them, you know.
Yeah, you pretend like you're a pro, you know.
Oh yeah. Hey, well, if you pretend like you're a pro and people believe you, then you are a pro.
Yeah, you don't even need to pretend, because you are a pro, you know.
Exactly. That's what the pros do. That's how it is.
Yeah, I mean, I got all the notes. Look, I mean, you know some things, but you don't know everything, you know. So that's why you have notes, you know. And
oh yeah.
And then I use different colors because so I know that, look, the reds, I don't call reds anymore. They are burned, you know. The reds are done forever, you know. But the orange ones, they might have possibility in like 6 months or 1 year. The yellow ones are to be followed up, you know. The blue ones, the proposals has been just sent out. The green ones is meeting has been scheduled locally with them, you know, blah, 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 whatever, okay?
Yeah, perfect.
So that's how I organize myself regarding to that. Now, quickly jump into the email probably, just to show you what's my email brand, how my email is set up. Drafts in English will be this one, because I just had one English one. But I'm sorry, because this is red right now, because it's different language, you know.
That's funny. Okay, no worries.
Otherwise it would be this way, you know.
Right, yes.
Like pretty nicely, but in English, sorry, it's red. But anyway, I say it's Primoz Lazar here, photographer and videographer. Thanks for chatting me over the phone. We talked about creating a promotional material, blah, blah, blah. My goal is to help you present your services, your company, or any of your real estate in the best way possible. Blah, 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 blah. As I mentioned, I prepared a proposal for you so you can see the range of my services and what exactly I can do for you. You can see some of my work on this website. Please review everything that I sent you, and I will be in contact with you shortly for a possible meeting, you know, blah, 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 you know. That's it, and that's it. And you need to always go through this anyway, proposal on the email, you know, anyway. I have templated proposal because I don't want to waste time, you know.
No, that's smart. So look, would you be comfortable sharing each of these with me? So like your email template and also your proposal template.
So, yeah.
Because they look pretty good. I would like to base mine on that. You know, obviously I'll change it up a bit, but
I'm going to give you that, and then the next thing I need to give you is the pitch. Let me see if it's in English. Just here, look.
Okay, I mean that sounds good. All right, you know, even I will look at the proposal that you have, and then I will try to define my range of services, literally. So
yeah, you do that.
That'll be step one for me, and then of course, then I'm ready to cold call. So I'll use the pitch script.
Yeah, nice and slow. Otherwise, I could do a few calls for you, but I'm not local, man.
No, thanks though.
Yeah. Anyway, are you in a rush right now? Do you need to go already?
Not in a rush. I got like 5 minutes if we're gonna just wrap this up, because I really would like to get this information from you, because like this is it. This is the script. This is perfect.
I'm just looking for the script. I'm not sure.
I had a question. So like, do you test any of the material? I guess like, do you do any like A/B testing on the actual proposals? I guess no, right?
You mean on the proposals?
Yeah.
Look, people, they don't. I mean, what would you look? People don't care much about the proposals, you know.
So you're saying it's more about them, like, do they need it or not, you know?
No, they do need it, you know.
Well, but are there some people who need it, but then they choose like not to go with you for some reason?
Sorry, I missed that. You need to repeat it for me.
No worries. So like sometimes they might need this service, right? So
Yeah.
are they always going to turn into your customer if that's the case?
If they need it, yes, but depends if there is a competitor on the market as well, because sometimes they have some family member doing this for them, or there is some relative or some friend, and it's not, it's always negotiation, and that guy is not that expensive, and we are happy with their service, and why would we do it with you, and why are you better than that? If that was your question,
Yeah, that makes sense. But I guess at the point where you're having a discussion with them, they're open, they're interested, or they would just not continue the discussion, right?
Look, some people are also uncertain,
Right. So they will listen to everything you have to say, even if there's no chance. That's interesting. Well, it sounds like kind of a bad lead, though. If you could possibly know, I don't know how you would.
Yeah, I mean, that's the question. Answer to your question.
No, that does answer my question. Yeah.
Some people don't even believe and know that your service really will help them go up and up. Because they are just uncertain because maybe you didn't present it that well to them or something. I'm issuing. I was having that issue for me because I didn't have enough of references, of enough of videos to show to them, because I just came back to Slovenia and I didn't have any Slovenian videos in photography, It was hard for me to convince them what I can do they don't see the clear path to that, whatever. I'm just saying,
I know what you mean. So the first couple were tough and then they became references. So the rest were easier.
Yeah, sometimes the beginning is tough in some way because you're going to be learning and script is not going to be working, and you need to fix up the script, and you're going to get used of the procedure of your list and creating the proposals and blah blah blah. But that's it.
Okay. Well, it sounds good, man. Let me just send it over to me and I'll be set.
Yeah, that's all the things. So I just wanted to share with you the English script, but I know now where it is. Yeah, it's just it's in a Premium Life folder. Yeah, because that's where I got this. Yeah, but I'm not sure if this is good.
Yeah. So what's the best way for you to share it to me?
Don't worry, I'll get ready everything. But when do you need it?
It's not a problem. Over the weekend would be fine if you're busy today, but whatever.
Today I need to go to sleep because tomorrow I got a video shoot.
Yeah, well, don't take time. You got 3 documents, just send them over. Should take 2 minutes, right?
No, the other ones are good. I just want to review the English script because the Slovenian script, it's been changed, and the Slovenian.
I see what you mean. Okay, well, don't worry about the script because if you can send the other 2 documents today, that way I have them and I can get started on defining my services.
Yeah, don't worry.
And whenever the pitch script's ready, I would love to receive it from you.
Don't worry, I will give you everything right now. I just need to change. I will just tweak these words here, okay?
Okay, no worries. Well, I'll tell you what, I should probably get going and work on my next thing. But hey, it's been an awesome call, man. Thanks for having me. Let's keep it going.
No problem. We chat later. Where do I send it to? To your email, yeah?
Let me send my email again here with the chat.
Don't worry, I got it, man.
You do? Okay, for sure.
Yeah, I got it. Don't worry. All right, we talk later, okay?
All right, yeah, cheers, man. Thanks.
Okay, see ya. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.